Welcome everybody, it's Tractorchute for Make Me a Sandwich Sunday, if you know what I mean. Because I like making sandwiches, of course. Anyways, we got ourselves in the bottom right hand corner, a red Zerg being played by Turr. Turr. What an intelligent sounding name that is, and I apologize if that's your real name, but it just sounds kind of Durrish. Anyways, he will be playing for team SiYx. SiYx. So Turr will be playing for Team SiYx. In the bottom left-hand corner, the man we've come to know and love. I love loyalty. It is Firewalker playing for Team Copper. Be playing as the blue Protoss in this game. Let's get this baby into second gear. Here we go. I love Sundays. Partially because it's the start of my week for work. And I just love Make Me a Sandwich Sunday. Got the Overlord moving over the map there by Turr. And we also have a little bit of debris highlighted as well there. Over here, Firewalker not doing a whole lot of scouting. I assume he'll head out after that gateway here or not. Firewalker elected to go with the non-scouting game. This is a rarity out of that high-end bronze player. Actually, I do believe he plays silver sometimes too in one of the other servers. But fair enough, he is bronze on this server and he will be sitting back making himself a gateway and a couple pylons. Let's bring up that 8 p.m. tab and see what kind of action. Wow! Turr is going to work. 78 p.m. That man is a machine. Firewalker, I love the bronze level maneuvering, sitting around 19 to 18, just where you want to be. Expansion coming out of Turr there, did go hatch. I guess he went spawning hatch. Yes, he did. So it was not a hatch first build by no means. Has the Overlord scouting over top of his ramp there, and the other Overlord doing a little flyby on the base here. We'll pull up that production tab. We got ourselves a Zealot coming out. Zealot's going to slowly make it out there. Eventually, we're getting a ton of lag here. Hopefully that improves as we progress through this game. There's that Zealot there. It is going to get itself positioned where it needs to be. That Overlord, I assume, will sit over top of that ramp so it knows when the army moves out by Firewalker. Does have another Overlord. Very good use of his Overlord. So that's exactly what you want to use him for. Is basically giving you good map presence. So that is very well done. In the meantime, you might want to get yourself some creep spread going, as that will help you as well. Anyways, he does have the best map vision so far. Firewalker there, I'm a little bit surprised still. He's not scouting at all. Doesn't even have a mothership core if you want to do some scouting. But apparently he's having a maybe a macro heavy game. But he is getting the Nexus out at the 5-minute mark, so not overly hefty on the quick expo. Does get that third gateway out there. I would have to assume that is very good wall off of the mineral line. Usually like to see a good wall like that. It's a fairly good build to get into there. That way you don't get any cheesing coming through the front door there. And up here, we do have some dogs finally on the field here. So those dogs are going to do a little loop around that building, head themselves back to the base there. Very well done. Very good done on his expansion, too. 8 drones already going to work on there. Is getting metabolic boost, so very well done there. That is just well done. Warp gate technology coming down for Firewalker, so very well done by him, too. That queen is still doing larva injects. This queen's doing larva injects. Don't need the creep spread. That's the low-end maneuvering I like. There we go. We now have ourselves 6 dogs ready to go across the field here. Do have a stalker out, and it will get a kill on that Overlord, which will hurt Turr. Turr is supply blocked at this current time, so very good Overlord kill by Firewalker there. That is very well done. Let's pull up our units tab here and get a good count. We got Mothership, Core, Stalker, and Zealot, and we are getting a good wall too. Sorry, I have ADD. All right, is it ADD or ATT? I'm not too sure. Anyways, he has a couple more gateways going down there. Gives them 5 gateways in total. Good job on the production buildings. That's usually a pretty good count to have early with the expansion there. Does have these 6 dogs here. They stopped halfway to get a little bit of a rest. Them dogs ready to get up that base. They're going to run right up into the Mothership Core. Not the most intelligent move by him. He's going to run right into the middle line, see what kind of kills he can get. Stalker's going to fall him down here. Might actually end up killing all 4 of these probes here if he doesn't get a move on. Does get one. Is going to continually chase down the rest there. Another Stalker. There are lots of dogs. This could be big trouble for Firewalker here. Lots of dogs in the base. They're targeting down that pylon, trying to unpower these 2 warp gates. Don't think that's going to be enough there, or gateways. Sorry, they're not warp gates yet. The other dogs must have either... Oh, they're way back here. Didn't see them hiding there. And they do get the full surround with all the probes and the Stalker there. Does have a lot more outside the base, but realizes not such a good maneuver as he is just getting denied. And Firewalker's getting too big of an army. So almost worked for him there. A little bit surprising that he did actually get the 7-minute pressure. Just appears Firewalker was not ready. But this probe here is on vacay. I love the vacay probes. Any probe that gets vacation time is a good probe in my book. Is going to move to the bottom of the rep is Firewalker just to monitor that third base out for Turr. So very well done in the macro game. Just sticking to the dogs. This is a highly intelligent game here. Does he have any other technology? Good for him. He is going straight dogs, and he's just going to bring that heat. This is a lot of dogs, especially when he's got metabolic boost. Does he have any upgrades there? No, he didn't have any other buildings, did he? No, he is sticking to the spawning pool. This could be amazing. Oh, we did get Roach Warren finally. He is going to tech up. They're going to run right in. Surprised they didn't turn around to try and take those stalkers out there. Might have been a fairly good job, but he is going to go right for the kill there. Can't get a full surround. This is why you like having a very good wall. Really prevents a lot of that, but we'll get right into the probe line and get a lot of probe kills. So very well done there. Let's actually pull that up here. We do have only 3 so far. A little bit surprised. He thought he would add more, but he's actually going to go for the Nexus. So he's going to target the Nexus, and he will probably kill that. I don't believe that Firewalker can defend that at all. Just too many dogs there. He'll slowly wear that down. This is going to be a big win for Turr. Not a win over the game, but a big win on this attack, as he will need to keep that pressure. Wow, another one at the front door. It's knocking everything down here. Very well done by Turr. He is actually knocking down the 2 gateways and a pylon as well. There's a Turr really putting the pressure on here. He is moving into that middle line as well, getting a lot more probe kills. So very well done by Turr. This army up here ended up getting taken out there. Now he's getting chased down again. There is going to target down that pylon, which will really affect Firewalker here. Does unpower those 2 buildings as well. There did not kill this pylon here though, so does leave these 2 warp gates up there. Let's see. Does he have any roaches finally getting on the field here? No roaches as of yet. There's 4 finally entering the field. There's very well done. Has done a lot of economy damage to Firewalker here. Firewalker having to rebuild that Nexus from square one now, and does have a lot more dogs moving across the field. They're going to move right up there, trying to build pylons left, right, and center, but they're really going to get a good surround of these. Oh, they did not. Thought they had him. Thought they had him on the surrounder, but they're not going to. They're not too sure what to attack. They're all over the place. They're trying to get as many probe kills as they can here. I really don't know what they're doing. Is he managing any probe kills out of that? Only 8 so far, so not too sure why he keeps running around. Maybe these dogs really like to exercise, because he's just running them all over the place and not really doing a whole lot of attacking. Do find they have some coming in the front door. Does have some roaches to try and back this up here, but at this point in time, even with the photon overcharge, brilliant by Firewalker. That's going to help a lot. He keeps attacking the probes and then not. Buddy, just attack the frickin' probe until it dies. I seriously don't know what he's doing. He'll attack the probe and he'll run away. Really not too sure what he's trying to do here. Keeps running around. I don't even think he knows. I think he's a little stir crazy right now. He has a lot of dogs coming across the map here. Not a whole lot of roaches, though. Only has 2 roaches on the field. I'm actually curious what he's at now. 11 whole kills. Wow, so really not making it worth his money here. Did get the Nexus kill, though, so that does account for a lot of dogs. So very well done there. Not too shabby so far. And if we look at the production tab, he is actually getting the upgrade for the roaches as well here, so very well done there. Does have the 3rd up in it. Is kind of mining, not really going gas heavy, so is intending to stick to this roach dog build here. Roach dog, of course, is not the most common build. The world wouldn't mind seeing him go into a Hydra or a Muta build or something like that, now that he's got Firewalker down after taking out that main there. He is slowly trying to wear down that stalker there. Might actually get the kill of this army here, but those Zealots should end up cleaning up this army here. And with that great 125% micro skill we see in the lower leagues, he is going to get that roach probably killed pretty darn quick here. Oh, actually did end up getting him out of there, so very well done. And he's almost toast there. These Zealots will clean that up here. A couple strikes there will take out that roach. So very well done there by Firewalker. Really ends up holding this off very well here. Did put the pylon there to block from the back end, the mineral line on the one side. So very well done there. Doesn't have any upgrades coming here. Don't believe he has any upgrades overall. No, he doesn't. Doesn't have any upgrades going. If we take a look at our unit tab here, we got 28 dogs on the field to basically the 2 stalkers, 4 Zealots, and the 1 mothership. So Firewalker really has caught up army-wise here. Those 28 dogs will get fended off fairly easy with the army that he does have there. They're still running across here. Not entirely sure why he built the Roach Warren. He's built a whole 4 roaches since building the thing. Not the most intelligent move. It does go into infestors. Not too sure if he's going to use infestors. I don't believe he has the skill to use infestors. And no, it does look like we are going into hive technology. He has sent those dogs in here. They're going to get in there one more time. Firewalker's got a lot of units, but these dogs keep running all over the place, trying to outrun those units. Will kill these upcoming Stargates here. So, oh, maybe not. No, if I know anything, I've learned now. He likes to attack shit and then move. Not entirely sure why. If you're going to kill something, kill it. Again, there's a couple probes getting out of there with almost no hit points. Will attack this pylon here. Hopefully he ends up killing this without running away. And he does get the kill on that there. Doesn't do anything as it only unpowers the second forge. But will it actually end up unpowering these couple buildings here as well. So not too bad of an attack there, but he's really really not being very efficient, if you ask me. You know, he's losing a lot of dogs and he's barely getting anything for it, so it's not really worth it for him to be doing this. But if we do take a look here, it does have now 10 roaches on the field, so it's finally made that maneuver to get up to a lot of roaches here, so very well done as far as that goes. And we do have a lot of probes here just sitting there. Photon overcharge going down. That will chase out the rest of the dogs here. Here comes all those roaches all getting together here. Could be big trouble once he brings a roach army. Although Firewalker does have the 4 stalkers and the 2 Z-Lots, don't think that's going to be enough here. So it might be a little bit of trouble once he does bring this whole army up here. We'll soon find out. Now he needs to get 28 dogs in front of these roaches. Then he might start getting a decent army in here. But he's going to try and move up with this, or he's going to move back and forth there. Just get a little decision on what he wants to do. Has 3 overlords here. This is overlord meeting here. He's kind of got like a little town set up here. He's got overlord meeting there. These 2 overlords are hanging out here on the skateboards. This overlord's just kind of flying out in the middle of nowhere. This overlord's getting the map vision there. This one here, he's flying over somewhere. It is getting the 4th base up at this point in time. With 4 bases, you really want to start seeing Tech 3, Tech 4 units, or get into a really what am I thinking of? Real macro heavy roach hydra build would be very brilliant as well, as he does really have the gas count for that. Has built up a very good base. Very good shields by Firewalker. Well done there. That was a good defend by him there. Really minimal loss. Did end up taking a pylon. Not really going to help him all that much. Is opening up into warp gate technology. So Firewalker really is starting to come back to this, but he has been keeping him at bay to the 2, 4, and 2 there for the Z-Lot, Stalker, and Sentry respectively, and keeping that mothership as well. But look at this macro heavy game. You know, if he started getting his gas up, maybe started getting himself a muted chamber, or even getting into Ultralist there, which I imagine we might actually end up seeing. Let's look at our production tab here. Is going to mute us finally here. So we are going to see something different. There's the Spire here, very well hidden right out in the middle of the base there. So Spires are going to come up here. Does have a lot of roaches up here. If he does a roach muta type attack here, you might actually have a very good chance. That is a fair bit of mutas on the field here. 14 now altogether. They're going to try and go in and try and get the back end mineral line here. I don't believe there's any cannons. No, there isn't. But we are finally getting upgrades. Ground armor is coming up. This could be where he starts decimating here. We'll start getting some kills here, unpowering a lot of things here. I don't know if he should be doing that, but realistically, with Firewalker's count here for minerals and minerals altogether, there really doesn't count. It really doesn't help him to hurt Firewalker economically. Does have a Phoenix and a Void Ray on the field. Very well done by Firewalker. Already, like, he was ready to counter these mutas. So very well done there. Has everybody outside of there. If he does come in the front door, now might be the time to move the rest of your army here. Wow, does he ever look like it? It is like a town. Either a town, or we'll give you credit for having the greatest map vision. Apparently, this is another little group here. Maybe it's like gang war or overlords here. This is like the Pristle and Procky posse up here, and these guys could be the Tubby Blue posse up here, and they got like their little armies and clans that go around killing each other. There's the photon overcharge there. Does get him right in the back there. Now he's going to start hurting him economically wise, but like I say, little does he know, Firewalker has a great big bankroll right now. If you watch any Firewalker games, you will learn he is the man to keep your money. There he goes. Phoenix is doing some great micro to one Phoenix first. He ton of all mutas there. They're probably getting a little bit pissed off. They can't get up and kill him. There's the rest of the army. Now let's see whether or not he chooses to attack. Firewalker at this point in time does have an Immortal on the field as well, so a very good army count he does have here. Now let's see if he figures this can go. This will be very, very close. He might have a chance here. He's warping out a lot. Very good on the warp gate count for Firewalker. I must say, very impressed with the warp gate count. That's exactly what you need, especially when you're riding 2 base and a high mineral count. I always say, if you got a lot of minerals, you either expand or you build a lot of production buildings. You got to get that spent. And he is not doing anything with this, maybe showing that he knows how to expand. Doesn't have any gas going up here. Really needs to get 2 more gases so we can keep that gas count high, and so we can get a really good mutalist build here if he wants to keep going with the mutants, because it does appear that is going to be what he sticks with, as I do not see an Ultralist Cavern unless that's it. There it is. So he is actually going to get 2 Ultralists. So knowing that really tells him he does have to start putting gas up. You're going to need gas heavy, and you're going to need at least 2 on the 4th and 2 on your 3rd as well. Does look like he is going to do a little bit of micro around nothing there. Is finally going to come over here. Only has 14 on the field. 17 now. Does still have 11 larvae on the field. Could put out 8 more if he really wants to go, or save that up for Ultralist. Is going to go. We'll end up taking that out there before the cancel goes down. 1 stalker, 2 stalkers apparently enough to chase him out of here. He's going to go back and forth here. He's going to take out a little bit more. Does end up taking out that building structure. These are all cannons he is knocking down. And too many stalkers he does run out of there. I'm not too sure if he knows these guys can actually attack. Maybe he wants to get them up there and try to get into the base. or maybe wants to start dropping them, or he could keep them contained to 2 bases, as he is up by 2 hatcheries. So very well done there. So he could really put the contain on Firewalker and drain him out of minerals eventually in the end here. Although that is the slow, painful death, it might actually work for him, barring Firewalker doesn't continue to get this army. Not too sure why he doesn't combine the mutas in this. There, the mutas are finally coming in here. Does need to move all the roaches up the base there. Nope, he does back off there after he sees all the force field. Good job drawing the energy out of Firewalker there, so that might actually be a win for him if he is timing that to get rid of all the force fields and then to try and get up there. We'll soon find out. Does look like he has a plan to go back in the main base here at some point in time here. Does he have any ultras coming out here so far? Let's take a look here. Does have 2 ultras finally coming on the field here, so that might be his key to start busting through that wall, or he could look at a bathing bus, but it does look like the ultra move will be the one he chooses. 5 at the time there. Wow. So he does have 3 more on top of these 2 coming in here. He is microing these mutas, so he's paying attention to a lot. So far he's doing fairly good here. Let's take a look here. 115 for his APM, so very well done. 49 for Firewalker. He's improved his game. He's getting right up there. Does run out of there. Good Phoenix count for Firewalker now. It's 4 Phoenixes on the field. Should be enough to keep these Mutalists at bay at this point in time. The other 3 Ultralists should be out fairly quickly here. Oh, does get hit quite a few times. Almost ends up actually losing a Phoenix here. That was very poor control on my part. I do apologize. They are going to come over top of here. We'll see all the roaches and see the Ultras now and realize what he's in for. Does not have any upgrades though. That could be his downfall though. Does not have any upgrades for air either. So they're going to try and get in here. You need to let those ultras in the front door there. The ultras are going to get in by themselves. Not the best move. They need support. He is going to finally get up there. Ultra's going to try and walk through the front door. Very good wall off there. He's going to block that off there. Ultralists are trying to cut through as much as they can. Roaches are trying to get in. Mutas are getting in. Mutas are attacking a pylon for some reason. Don't know what the heck he's trying to do here. He is going to fend this off fairly easily. He does have this walled off very well. He is going to push him right back here. He's actually going to chase him down. These 3 ultras might be enough for Firewalker to turn back around though. That could be scary, but he's actually going to retreat. Full-on retreat. Very well done. Turr is getting a little scared here. They do chase down that Overlord there. Not going to do him a whole lot of good. There's enough Overlords on the field. Is continually chasing this army down here. Is he replenishing this army at the same time? He is at 170 food, so does need to get a few more units on the field there. Maybe a few more mutas or something, but you know, actually, I'd almost stick with the straight Ultralist build there, as that seems to be working. Firewalker really only has the 1 Void Ray out there, along with the 4 Phoenixes, so could really get into an ultra heavy build. Does not quite have the gas, but has the money-wise to go for it. Let's take a look here what he is going to go. It does look like straight ultra with no upgrades, which is a little bit surprising. The upgrades are really would be what helps him in this game, but he isn't upgrading at all. Firewalker, on the other hand, I do believe does have upgrades. He doesn't have any on the air, which is fair, but does have 1 on the ground, so that could be the game changer here. So he does get up, finds that 4th there, still doesn't have gas on the 4th, not too sure why. Is also attacking over here as well here with the Phoenixes here, just doing a little bit of harass. No gas over there as well. Wow, that's really could end up hurting him in the end here. Is getting an attack at the main base here. Does have a lot of mutas, is warping in a lot of stalkers. This should be enough stalkers to chase that out of there. Does look like Firewalker might be starting to clean this up here. Where did he actually end up putting all these ultras? Apparently they're all standing here, just freaking in La La Land. Not entirely sure why he's standing everybody around doing absolutely nothing here. This ultra's going to mass through everything on the ground on the bottom part here. Don't think there's much he can do. These stalkers are watching the battle here. As he finally walks in there, ends up dying there. Will end up killing this hatchery off. Very, very well done. Does kill off the 3rd as well here. Does still have these guys standing around doing butt freak all here. Not entirely sure why. These guys should all basically be fired as they're not doing anything. They allowed the 3rd and 4th to go down. Firewalker's going to walk in here. Now he's going to realize that the guy, Turr, actually does have an army at this point in time here. So this could be a little bit of trouble. Might clean through this ground army fairly easily here. Does have the 1 Void Ray, which you might not have an answer for. Though does have a lot of ultras over here doing absolutely nothing at all either, which is fairly funny. 5 ultras altogether here. Does have a little bit going on up here. Does have the stalker count and taking out the rest of those mutas up here. Is pushing across, taking out the overlords at the same time here. Really, there goes the Ultralist there. That's what you need to do before here. Might have actually helped me quite a bit here. That 1 Void Ray will actually take a very long time to take out that Ultra there. Did he ever get the upgrade for the Ultras? No, he did not. Still goes with 0 upgrades. These Ultras might be able to clean up this army. Will be very, very close. Actually, yeah, they'll clean it up pretty easily there. So they do massacre through that army. Has some Phoenixes bouncing around here. Is sending in some more Zealots here, so getting a little bit more of a ground force helpful here. Does have a lot of money. Could go for a lot of dogs here, but hasn't been larva injecting at all. Does not have much larva count. So that is not going to help him at all here. Does chase the, or bring the Ultralists over here. They're going to take out the rest of the Zealots here. So very well done. Up here, we do have some mutas flying around. They're doing a bit of harassment. Is trying to re-expand at this point in time. Ultras are going to move across the field here. They're going to head all the way over there, trying to do a counterattack at this point in time. Those stalkers there, they're going to chase down the rest of those mutas there. So very well done by Firewalker here. Is doing fairly well. If it turned into a base race, I'd have to give it to Firewalker, as he does have the the ability to bring in a lot of units with that amount of gates. So he does have a lot of idle probes here, but like I say, when you work in Firewalker, you get vacation, right? So he does actually end up taking out this Immortal here. We'll put a bit of pressure on here as Firewalker will have to do another warp in. Does have enough money in to warp in, and a lot more Stalkers to fend off what is there. Trying to get through the rest of these Spine Crawlers here. Turr says, well played. Very well done to Firewalkers. My congrats to you. My condolences to you, Turr. I love it when we are on Super Summit Sunday. Woo! Part 2 will be coming up later. I'm getting a lot of submissions for Challenge Friday. Remember, you must expand in one of your opponent's closest 2 mineral patches. Must get at least 3 workers up and working there and get the win to qualify there. Do have a few submissions so far, waiting on more. Like I say, I will cast every submission, whether it is a win or a loss here. I'll try and get them all casted that day. It'll be a big day of replays there. Anyways, for the rest of the cast, I will give you my saying: if you're a gold standard and you're playing bronze, don't let me catch you blowing bubbles on Wednesday unless you got a permit. Thanks so much for watching. You be good. Don't hurt nobody. Peace.